Hi everybody, it's Josh on camera again, feeling awkward. Every time I do it, it feels like the first time. I think I'm going to make another video soon about my relationship with YouTube, this weird platform that I've been on for over 20 years, but on which I feel completely, utterly uncomfortable. But today, right now, I want to talk about what I've been playing. This is what I'm playing right now. Unemployment Edition. I made one of these videos a number of weeks ago where I talked about my pathology of playing multiple video games at once and jumping, getting a little progress in one game and jumping to another. That continues. I have now finished or just put down all the games that I was playing in that previous video, and I have an entirely new batch. I'm going to talk about 5 games that I'm playing on my Switch, and then I'm going to just talk a little bit about what I am emulating, some old games that I am emulating on a little device at night. The first game that I am playing is the indie RPG of the moment. I think the moment might actually have passed. It was maybe a month ago, but I'm a little slow. And that is a game called Sea of Stars. This is a pixel-style, SNES-style, turn-based RPG from the developers of a great action platform ninja game called The Messenger. This is a full-on classic-style turn-based RPG. I am new to the turn-based games. This was something that I was trepidatious about, but now I dipped my toe in, and now I'm all in, and I'm having a great time playing Sea of Stars. It has a really nice story. It's extremely well written. It's extremely well paced. The turn-based combat is fun. It has button presses on the turns to give it a real-time kind of a spin, similar to Mario RPG, which is a game I will talk about later, a game that's being remade and will come out soon for the Switch. Sea of Stars is also a short game for an RPG. It's about 25 hours, and I am approaching the end of the game, and it feels like the right time to be wrapping up. I'm having a great time. For those who are interested in assist modes and accessibility features, I've talked about those before. I am someone who will use whatever features are offered to me to help me get through a game. I don't have old school skills or patience. Sea of Stars does have some nice accessibility features. They do this thing where they call it story mode or storyteller mode. And this is a pet peeve of mine as someone who enjoys easy modes, is when they try to give you a narrative. They try to help you out and give you a cover story that, no, you just want the story. You're just here for the story. You don't want all the other stuff. That's not true. The story is fine. Sea of Stars is well written. The story is fine. But in any video game, the story is usually the last thing on my mind. And I don't want easy mode or accessibility or assist to help me enjoy the story. Stop gaslighting me into thinking that that's the reason. Let's just admit it right out. I want it to be easier. I want it to be more accessible. That's it. I want to get somewhere in the game. I want to progress in the progress of completion, not necessarily the narrative. I'm sorry, I know that the makers of these games want to think that everybody is just soaking up the story and the narrative and the characters and the themes, but nope, I just want to finish. I just want to do the things and get the numbers to go up and collect things. The game is fantastic. I love it. Sea of Stars. Just as Chained Echoes was probably the indie RPG of last year, I think absolutely this is the indie RPG of 2023, Sea of Stars. Check it out. In my previous video of what I was playing, at the time I was playing Pikmin 4, which had just come out, and I mentioned that I had played and abandoned Pikmin 3, the deluxe remaster thing that came out on the Switch, because I found it to be frustrating and stressful, even though I love the world, I love the weirdness, and I like the gameplay of Pikmin very much. But I just found 3 to be, at the time, just as turn-based games were a little bit off-putting, I find strategy overwhelming just because I'm dumb. And so I was finding myself panicking and getting frustrated, and so I put that down. Played 4, which is a much more user-friendly game, made to be much more accessible. I ate it up, I beat that game, and then I went back and I finished 3. I played 3 because I was now so proficient in the gameplay of Pikmin. I understood a little more what was going on, and then I had a fantastic time beating Pikmin 3, which is great. I love when I can go back to a game that was frustrating or inscrutable previously, and now I can come back with new perspective or just, a little bit of headspace, and I can get back in and find my way. And that happens a lot. Maybe I'll make a video about games like that, because I've had that experience many times. There's so many games out there and my time is limited. So if I can't get anywhere, I'll put it down. But if a game's good enough, it'll stick in my mind, and then I'll come back. And usually if you have a little bit of time and distance, you can get in there and you can, if it's an RPG, you can find maybe some of the stats that you weren't upgrading or some things that you had overlooked, or you can just get a fresh take on how to play it and find yourself getting further. And that's very satisfying. And that was the case with Pikmin 3. So now I've played and completed 2 of the Pikmin games, just in time for Pikmin 1 and 2 to come out for the Switch as well. And I'm now playing Pikmin 1, which is incredibly frustrating. The controls do not work the way you expect them to. It doesn't have all the quality of life. It hasn't been honed to perfection like 3 and especially 4 have been. Even though they had the opportunity and did revise some of the controls for the Switch, just inherent to the game, it's a lot more simplistic. There's only 3 Pikmin types, and I still can't even figure out how to cycle through them to only deploy the ones that I want. So I am finding it frustrating. It is a much shorter game, so I'm probably going to stick with it. 2 is the one that everyone says is by far the hardest and most frustrating. I might skip it. Maybe I'll try, an hour or 2 of it. But I am playing Pikmin 1 right now and still expecting to find my way through. It's tough going, but I believe in Pikmin now, so I think I can do it. Meanwhile, I'm playing another RPG. This one is a re-release, another remaster. I believe this is from the GameCube originally. I might be wrong about that. No, I think actually this might have been on the PSP. Maybe both. I don't know. But it is from the Trails series. There's so many of these series. There's the Tales games, which are RPGs, Japanese RPGs, but there are also the Trails Into Reverie, I think, is the most recent one. And Trails of Cold Steel, there's a couple of those titles that are on the Switch, but I believe those are also remasters. Those are all turn-based, from what I understand, turn-based RPGs that I have not played. This one that just was re-released is the Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trails, originally called Endless Trails. They changed that one word, so it's new, it's different. You got to buy it. And this is fantastic. This is an action RPG, so it has all of those trappings of a Japanese role-playing game, but the action is just kind of like swinging swords and casting little magic special moves and things like that. And it's from Falcom and NIS. It's from the people who released the Ys games, and I don't know if it's the same developers or not, but it plays very much like Ys Origin and Ys 8, which are 2 fantastic action RPGs from this same company. And I am just eating this up. I'm probably about halfway through Nayuta, The Legend of Nayuta, Endless Trails, Boundless Trails. They're now boundless. They were endless, now they're boundless as well. I love this game because it has all of the depth of an RPG with lots of menus and systems and upgrades and quests, side quests, and things to do and pay attention to, in the menus. But it's also got a unique thing where it's level based. So there's just like some realms you need to explore, and they're broken up into little levels, and you go in. And the big gimmick of the game is that at a certain point you have control over the seasons, and you can change the seasons. So the summertime version of a level will contain certain pathways and certain things you can do, and then when it's spring or winter, there will be new pathways open or new things that you can find, or you can plant something in the spring, and then you can go back and retrieve it. It'll grow into a tree or thing that you need, a plant you need in the summer. And that's cool. It's fun. And it's all pretty straightforward. It has a nice beginner difficulty, which I am enjoying, but highly recommended, having a great time with that. So the last 2 games that I'm playing on my Switch currently take me into uncharted territory. I mentioned that I had avoided turn-based games until I became intrigued, and then I dipped my toe, and now I'm enjoying turn-based RPGs. Strategy was always that. I've probably already said this in videos, that strategy is the final frontier. It's a bridge too far. I'm not interested in strategy games. Well, here I am. I am playing strategy games. There's something going on where I'm diving deeper and deeper into genres that had previously been anathema to me. It started with this Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. These are old Game Boy Advance games that have been completely reimagined and remade for the Switch. And these are straight up tactical, grid-based war games where you take a turn and you deploy units and you use the terrain. And I am incredibly stupid. I'm very dense. I do not have a brain for strategy. And I'm trying to figure out what it is right now that's making me want to play strategy games and enjoying them, even though I'm really bad at them. There is a casual mode in Advance Wars, but it doesn't matter. If you can't strategize, you can't win. It just makes you live a little longer. You can take a little more abuse. And yet, when I do crack a level, when I do figure out a strategy, and I'm using online guides and forums and reading people's thoughts about these games have been around for a while, so there is a lot of help out there. I'm finding it really satisfying to figure these things out, and to get the upper hand, and to actually make plans that come to fruition. And I was thinking about why this would be, and I wonder if maybe it has something to do with my current condition of being unemployed. The nature of the work I do is I focus on the creative, but really in marketing and especially in web developing, you are constantly solving problems. Something is wrong, somebody's mad about it, and you have to get in there and you have to be a sleuth. You have to troubleshoot. If it's web design, you're sometimes going under the hood and you're going in the code to find out why things are not behaving the way they're supposed to. And I don't have that now. I don't have a job that I'm doing during the day to where I'm figuring things out to satisfaction. And when I was doing that on a daily basis, I wanted games at the end of the day that were easy and breezy, and I just ran around with a sword, or I'm just solving simple puzzles and doing things to kind of give myself endorphins. I wonder if, maybe I'm wrong, but I wonder if I'm craving this deeper level of strategy, this deeper level of problem solving to fill that void so that I don't feel like a useless person. And maybe that's why I am enjoying these strategy games. There is another game, the fifth game that I'm currently playing, also on Switch, is an indie game called Wargroove, which is essentially Advance Wars, but with a kind of medieval skin and with a little bit of a different spin, because it's made by indie developers who are kind of paying homage to games like Advance Wars. But it's great. It has even better assist features, so I can get through every mission eventually. But I'm finding that one even more enjoyable. It's a really nice game. There's a sequel to it coming out very soon, Wargroove 2, coming to the Switch very, very soon. So that's the crazy thing I'm doing right now. I'm playing strategy games. Wow, what a personality I have. But it is fun. And as I wrap things up, this is my Miyoo Mini Plus, my current favorite handheld emulation device. And at night, I try not to bring my Switch or my Steam Deck into the bedroom when we're winding down and my wife is reading and we're just relaxing. It gives her a little bit of stress when I have the big game thing in there. So out of respect for her, I do not bring it into the bedroom. I play it elsewhere in the house. But this little thing, this little phone-sized gadget where I can emulate these old games that don't usually drive me crazy because I usually have cheat codes activated, I'll play a half an hour of some of these classic games before I go to bed. And lately I have been playing Super Mario RPG. Currently being remade, probably finished, coming out next month, or is it November? I think right around my birthday in November is when the Mario RPG remake is coming out. I'm playing the original just in little short sessions just to get a taste of it and what it's like, and that is a joy. That's a Super Nintendo game, and so that one's a hoot to play. And then also playing Fire Emblem, the original Fire Emblem, which I think is also Game Boy Advance. But I am enjoying a taste of this classic strategy. Again, I'm super dumb. I'm not good at it, but it's giving me a strange rush. It's giving me a strange satisfaction to play strategy games and just try and get a little bit better at them every day. And I feel like that's happening. So that is what I have been playing. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you again soon. You feel free to tell me in the comments what you've been playing. I'd love to know what games you like. Thanks for watching. Bye.